Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, thanks a bunch to CPD for giving me this floor. My name is MD Fahad Hossain Fahim, and I'm a recent graduate from Faculty of Animal Husbandry, Bangladesh Agricultural University. And I'm serving as CNN Academy Fellow, Voices from the South program. As an agriculturist, I do believe that food is the moral right of all who are born into this world. Without food, man can live at most but a few weeks. Without it, all other components of social justice are meaningless. And if we want to induce food and nutritional security, we must have to address climate change. That's why climate change matters to me. Everyone is talking about climate change, but no one is talking about its solution. And I do have a solution, and that is introduction to the Pinocchio Model of Econolex utility. How can laws regulating climate change and the environment support economic development? Well, before delving into my concept, let me introduce with my research question I have mentioned earlier. And my methodologies are very simple. My methodologies are Keynesian economics, where government must intervene to correct externalities. Nobel laureate Dr. A. Smoglu and Robinson's theory on how institutions and laws are essential for the prosperity of a nation or a country. And Nobel laureate Dr. Stiglitz, sustainable prosperity, which is shared prosperity, and relevant laws, which integrates green economy, ecology, and sustainable development. Well, my theme and motivation are very simple. Sustainable development, which includes public and personal interest, with a legal framework to obviate climate anomalies and to induce economic immunity with innovative concept and practical relevance. Well, economic development, that is the first component of my model. Economic development refers to the improvement of the quality of human life emanating from a very long period of economic growth. And economic development is dependent on two motivating factors. First one is geographical location, and we have nothing to do with that. That's totally natural. And second one is efficiency of institution, and we have everything to do with that. And efficiency of institution refers to laws, rules, societal norms of any country. With innovative concept and a practical relevance of Econolex factors, we can induce the maximum economic development of any country. Well, if climate is changing like that way, climate change could be the new Thucydides trap, where our economic destruction will be inevitable. Here are some proofs, and I want to mention only one from that. That is, global income is projected to be cut by a fifth, with climate damage estimated to reach 38 trillion by 2050, and that's alarming. Well, the second component of my model is law, which refers to the rules, regulation, or obligations of our actions that are prescribed by legal authorities. If we have knowledge, information, and wisdom about climate change, with the principles of environmental law, we can develop pragmatic environmental tools. It could be policy, it could be technology, it could be any sustainable practices, which is essential to induce economic immunity. Well, now delve into my model, and that is Pinocchio Model of Econolex utility. Here, Econolex is a blend of economics and the Latin word lex, meaning law, which represents the intensity of implementation of laws in economic activities. And economic immunity, the first pillar of my model. Economic immunity refers to the capacity of an economic actor to produce legal products or services in any form that is essential for economic development. Second pillar of my model is utility of environmental resources, which refers to the legal authority of an economic actor to use environmental capital in any form for economic development. The third component of my model is climate anomalies, which refers to the degradation or pollution of any component of the environment causing climate change. And final component of my model is Econolex factors, which refers to the efficiency, fairness, and intensity of the implementation of laws in the whole economic development process. Well, my model says economic immunity is proportional to utility of environmental resources and multiplied by Econolex factors. Again, inversely proportional to climate anomalies, which is depicted in equation 1. And suppose consider Luxembourg and Laos, both having environmental resources of $100 billion, and the same climate anomaly rate of 6. But Luxembourg has the most pragmatic legislation implemented to conserve natural resources. And Laos has the least. Then the economic factor for those countries may be 7.5 and 2.3. It is tentative, depends on the intensity and utility of its institutions. Now, according to my model, if we calculate, economic immunity could be for Luxembourg 1 to 5, and for Laos, it could be 38.33. Just see the difference. Well, my model shows how legal systems directly affect ecological and economic resilience by combining environmental resources utility, law enforcement strength, and climate anomalies. Maybe the higher value of Econolex factors has positioned Estonia, Luxembourg, Germany, Finland, and the United Kingdom at the top of the 2024 Environmental Performance Index, whereas India, Myanmar, Laos, Pakistan, and Vietnam are at the bottom. If we, policy mechanism is very simple, according to my model. First one is mutual cooperation. Shared responsibility prevents climate tragedy. Here is an example, Paris Climate Agreement. Second one is legal accountability. Law ensures sustainable development, like Environmental Protection Act. Third one is regulatory control. Limit pollution and enforce compliance. It could be factory emission caps and chemical use limits. Well, another are market mechanism, like use taxes and incentives for green growth, carbon tax, and eco-friendly tax rebates. Again, another one is rebound awareness. Anticipate unintended factors or effects like higher product prices or job loss from strict laws. Another one is adaptive policies. Apply cap and trade, permits, and subsidies like European Union emission trading system, green tech subsidies. And another one is green economy. Legalize renewable and sustainable systems like law promoting solar energy and clean transport. Well, what could be the impact of my model? Law footprint is the impact of my model. Law footprint in economic terms can be defined as the comprehensive and effective application of laws in two ways. Its applicability during the production of financial capacity and the advantages that arise from the implementation of the law. Here, actor could be individual, government, institution, industries. And outcomes could be sustainable development and climate justice. Here is an example. We must have to address realism and theory or academic analysis. Example is Sri Lanka's fertilizer ban shows law must balance reality and idealism. Well, if law footprint is induced or implemented in society, our institution will have legal framework, individuals will have law footprints, government will have choice and policies, economic giants will have...
Fahad, I think you have to wrap it up.
Yes. Development could be sustainable. Well, policy roadmap is very simple, just a diagnosis, legal drafting, implementation, monitoring, and impact assessment. Goals, sustainable and legally empowered future, and tool could be technology to induce good governance. Here are references, and thanks a bunch everyone for your kind attention, and I'm ready for your question. And